Welcome back, everybody, to the back nine of the final round, 2017 Bad Rock Open. We have an awesome round going. Chris and Jake Lazzo are tied at 10 under. Then we have Arturo and Joe. They are just 1-2 strokes behind them. Hole 10, 381 feet. Doesn't play that long. Slightly downhill. You just gotta get it to stick on the hillside, not roll down. Arturo going with a hyzer approach. I'm very surprised by this. He has such a solid left hand. Maybe he doesn't have the distance to reach that, but I'm really surprised he's going with the right hand hyzer. Joe going with the forehand. And he starts it with a turnover, and it's such a good shot. He's right there within 15 feet, and look at this. So unfortunate, so uncool. Not much to say about that one. Threw it straight down. Good shot, Chris. That curls right to below the basket. He's got 10 feet to go. Tough little approach by Jake, and he does it just right. You have to get that disc to land flat on the ground to avoid any kind of a roll away. Very well executed approach by Jake. That is a nerve-wracking moment. You know you're going to hit the face mask. You just hope it doesn't roll. It sits. Nice bid by Joe. Just a little low. These guys are working. 9 holes to go. It is time to move and attack the course, and they are doing just that. Chris regains the lead with that birdie. He is 1 ahead of Jake.
When I practiced for was that one rounder.
Hole 11, just a little tricky. Just got to get out of the woods. 285 feet. Got a mound placed basket, making it a little extra difficult on the green. Gnarly stuff left and right of the tee box. Don't want to end up there. Oh, what a sweet shot by Chris. He is on the mound, 12 feet away. Arturo looking to be throwing a purple destroyer. That one is new to his bag. I've not seen that one before.
A little better this time.
Excellent skip up the hill.
Oh, man.
And Joe opted for the left route with the flex shot both rounds. This one came out early and low. And that is an excellent shot by the Heiser Bomb sponsored player Jake Lazzo. Better sit. Stressful moments for Joe. And Chris with a 12-footer. Just squeaks it underneath that band. He mentioned later that it was a tailwind putt, and he certainly didn't want it to drop out and hit the basket, the face mask. But man, that was really close. He was surprised that it kind of rose on him on a tailwind putt. Speaking of sponsors, Chris is sponsored by Fossa Disc Golf. The bag he is carrying right there. Hand-Eye, Supply, and Latitude 64. Hole 12, so treacherous. That gap is so narrow. 267 feet. Got a BMX track going through it too. Not making it any easier. Oh, really good shot by Chris right down the middle. And he scoots just past the basket, but such a good throw. Arturo working that right side, clips a little branch, and it kind of kills his progress.
Way better than the first.
Jake throwing the Heiser flip.
Okay, yeah, I got a tree up.
It's down there though. I'll put close
Hugging that right side also, Joe. He's a little short on the left side. Jake facing a 60, 55 footer. Just lays it up. Kind of a half go right there. We didn't want to get too crazy.
No shit.
Wide right on the 40-footer for Joe. And Arturo is in the brush on the left side. Circle's edge. And that is an air ball. Chris has scooted past a good bit. Must have hit some of that bald area there, and he was left with circle's edge putt and missed it. Another 3-putt on the round for Joe. Not what he needs. hole 13, you got 2 ways to get there. You got the hyzer around the right side. Careful, don't go long because it's a short hole, only 235 feet. You can just send it straight into the bushes behind the basket. Then you have the left route, which is the way the hole was designed to be thrown. There are several pin placements, and the only pin placement where you can play the hyzer, or you would opt to play the hyzer, is the one where it is today. Showing off the beautiful countryside of Liberty, Missouri.
God, you're so lucky.
This time, Chris opts to go with the straight backhand approach instead of the flex forehand. He goes on the long way around, trying to get that skip down towards the basket. And apparently got really lucky from what he says.
Oh my God.
Arturo
Nah.
is early, but he's on the fairway. Shouldn't have that bad of an approach. And Jake just barely misses the same spot that Arturo hit and gains an extra maybe 50 feet on the throw. Now, Joe had a really good shot the first round. He was 25 feet away. This time he's going a little bit wider, and a little more power on it. Trying not to flirt so much with the tree line this time. Big jump putt by Arturo, fades left, leaves him with about a 12-15 foot putt. Oh, it's a good bid by Jake. That one scooted past a good bit. And now Chris facing a downhill 45-foot putt. And he cans it. That is clutch. Such a good putt. Definitely worthy of a slow-mo. Perfect. Puts the pressure on Jake now. He was up by 1, and Jake is facing a par putt. This could be quite a turning point. Chris goes from having a 1-stroke lead to a 3-stroke lead if Jake makes this 10-footer he's got left. Arturo gets his 3. And Joe going 2 for 2 on this hole, even better than the first rounds, left with a 12-foot putt. Very nice deuce. Makes up for his mistake on the previous hole quickly. Yeah, Jake knows what that meant right there. Hole 14, 417 feet, very tricky, tough hole. Lefty advantage for sure. Once you make the dog leg right, that basket is tucked in on the right side, very close to the cedars. Cedars, pines, whatever they are. Still a very tough shot. Chris seems to be happy with that one. We got
I don't know, man.
the
I didn't want to like get it up in the
safe signal from our assistant tournament director Michael Kruger out there with spotting duties on hole 14. He wasn't spotting this hole. He was just watching the big dogs do their work. And Joe lets that one sail. That one was moving. He will have a long approach for his 2 or 3. I like it. Everybody is playing aggressively. The tournament is winding down. Arturo goes with the Anheuser Flex over trouble.
Hit him.
And Jake plays it safest of them all. He is looking for his 3. You can see where Joe is heading back left. His disc was way gone. Good approach by Jake. He will tap in his 3 easily. Chris is not going to get crazy. He has a 3-stroke lead and he knows it. I missed Joe's approach. That was his little trickle roll after his approach. And this has not been a little friendly green at all. It's rolling on him. Solid hit, Arturo. And Chris cleans up his 15-foot putt. Break while the 4 F-18s go by. Only reason I know that is because of the sound. They're so loud. Only an F-18 makes that sound. Joe not flying high after that putt. Card's a bogey. Time is running out. Hole 15, also 2 routes. You can go the left side, you have to deal with the pond, or the right side has more trees, but it is safe from going in the water. Personally, I like the right side, but it is easier to get your dues with a well-executed shot on the left. It's all about risk versus reward. Chris is a lefty so it's more of a no-brainer for him. And he gets denied by a branch. That was such a good shot. It was hyzering to the basket, and that really killed his momentum. He's safe, but man, it could have been so much better. Boom. That's how you throw this hole.
Thank you.
That was so good. Great line. Makes it all the way around that guardian tree. He is looking at a deuce. Great shot by Jake Lazzo. did edit that out, Joe. No worries. Good approach. He has some experience with that shot. He landed in the exact same spot the first round. Just short for Chris. And Jake is not taking advantage of his opportunities. He had to make that. Coming in the final stretch, you have to capitalize on all your opportunities. And look at that purple disc. Arturo had such an amazing drive. 307-foot hole, but man, it sure plays a lot longer going down that right side.
I guess next time we go inside route.
Hole 16, 310 feet. Another very demanding tee shot. You gotta get up. Even if you make it all the way up the hill, you still have a long putt. So whatever you do, you just have to get past those first 100, 120 feet. If you kick left, you have the pond that could get you an OB shot. Premium deuce.
Yeah. Safe, yeah.
No, I hate to tell you, Arturo, but that is out of bounds, wet. Now, Chris had been going for the turnover shot, getting up the hill, but he let go early on both rounds. Hitting that gap nicely. Jake, I'm sure he wanted to get further up the hill, but he's happy he's clear of all the trouble, especially considering where Chris ended up.
No.
And Joe pulls that one right.
Get ahead. Come on, yo. Come on, yo.
But look at that. Arturo's got him by 2 strokes. He's pumping his competitor up. That's what I love to see on the course. Great sportsmanship.
Hey, Arturo,
Yes, sir.
you can re-tee if you want.
No.
Okay.
So he could pitch to right here.
Arturo is throwing 3, and he has a nice wide open area on the left to work with, so easy to understand his decision not to re-tee. And he threw a turnover. Not sure if he wanted to get a roller, but it ended up being a roller, and he is out of trouble.
It'll help you.
hard to tell where that ended up. And Chris not too bad. He's on the edge, not in the woods. And learning from his mistake on the first round where he cut in early and was in the bushes on the right. Very gnarly stuff. Nice approach by Arturo. And now we are up to Jake's second shot. Soft flick by Jake. Very nicely done. And no, Chris is in early on the right side again.
I can move this, yeah?
Dealing with all kind of fun stuff. Look at the thorns. It's just wild in there. What can you say about that? That was so good. What a great putt. In trouble. Thorn pulling on his shirt. Concentration, focus, makes the putt.
Worth it.
Everybody had a comment about that one. He almost hit the band.
Terrifying Lazzo. It's like one of those race putts.
And Chris keeps his 3-stroke lead with that one. Such a good putt out of the bushes. Pretty straightforward shot. To me, it's a hyzer flip. Go down the middle. Got the tree on the right side that will block any hyzers coming in from right-handed players. And it's a fast green for left-handed players who are coming in on a hyzer.
That was better. There you go. Sit. That was better. That was better.
Really good shot by Chris. He's got to fly the tall grass on the left, so it adds a little extra difficulty to his shot. And that wind is really whipping for Jake's shot. He keeps it low, gets a small skip up the hill. Joe going for the low skipper. And he does just that. He's not very happy with it. It might have gone a little long. Oh, very good shot by Arturo. That disc goes nowhere after it hits the... No, he went long. Boy, it did not seem that way from the tee. And he is being aggressive. He just took a 5 on the previous hole, tying him with Joe. And Joe gets his birdie. He is 1 up so far. Arturo has to make the comeback putt if he wishes to stay within 1. Well done by Chris. Moving up to 14 under par. Arturo looking like he is 20-25 feet away. Good putt. Gives him a chance to catch Joe on the next hole. And Jake misses his birdie putt. Not doing himself any favors. Chris had already gotten his deuce. And now Chris has a very comfortable 4-throw lead going into the final hole. Final hole of the 2017 Bad Rock Open. Hole 18, 324 feet. Plays longer than that. Do not go in the bush on the left. And Jake's got to worry about Joe now. He's 1 stroke ahead of him. And Chris sawed that one off really badly.
I thought there was going to be some wind out there.
He's just glad not to be in the bush.
Oh, come on.
And Joe was not expecting that disc to flip. He wanted the hyzer the whole way. And that leaves him with a 55 foot putt. Oh, he turns that one over straight out of his hand. Way right, way far away from the basket. Arturo says, here, I'll show you how to throw the flex shot, Jake. Very well executed by Arturo. Okay, good approach by Jake. And I think Chris wanted that one. He's a little upset he didn't make it. The way he grabbed his disc, his mini after he was done. He wanted to finish with style. Facing a downhill 55-footer. Joe trying to stay 1 ahead of Arturo. And he misses it. Leaves the door wide open for Arturo to tie him up with this 18 foot putt. And nobody saw that coming. Such a good putter. High right, chains out. So with that, Joe will maintain a solid grasp on 3rd place. Jake in 2nd with a 10 under. Joe taps in for his par. And there he is, your 2017 Bad Rock Open champion, Chris Clemons, with a really good 8 under par, 47 on the first round, backs it up with a 49, 6 under, finishing 14 under for the tournament for a total of 96. Anytime you're throwing under 100, you're throwing well on 2 rounds. Congratulations, Chris Clemons, your Bad Rock Open champion. Thank you for joining me at Flying J Disc Golf. Hope to see you the next time around on the next tournament, somewhere around the Midwest.